Welcome back. Well, today we have John Hovannessian, Dr. John Hovannessian, who is here on behalf of Harvard Eye Associates. Well, doctor, thank you so much for coming in today.
So good to see you.
I never get
doctor.
to call you doctor.
Yes, you
I
call
always
me
say John.
I'm pretty informal about that.
Well, I'm glad you could make it in. And, you know, I think we've talked about this in the past because lots of our residents are very active.
Yes.
And I don't think we really think about our eyes to protect them. We think about our knees and our backs and other things, right? But the eyes are probably the last thing we think about.
So true. And this is the time of year when it happens to, because we've got all these projects people are taking on at home, things they want to get done before the weather gets cold and whatever. And you're in a hurry, and that's when injuries happen.
Exactly.
And to the eye, it's so tragic. It's so
yeah,
tragic.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, I even think gardening, you had mentioned last time, is dangerous because if you don't wear something to protect your eyes, even sunglasses, you really could like get something in your eye. So what you have here showing us is you've got a couple of different options that people can use to protect your eyes.
You know, the most important thing to protect your eyes is just be aware of the possibility of injury. It's about wearing protective eyewear, but you have to think about it to put them on. And you also have to have decent ones that you'll be okay wearing. You don't need to spend a fortune on safety glasses. Something from Home Depot or any hardware store is just fine, as long as it's comfortable, so you're not going to say, ow, this pinches, and as long as you can see through it, right? So if you can wear it over your existing glasses, or you know, in any way that you will not hesitate to use it. Buy new ones when they get scratched up so you don't hesitate. Because, you know, think about it this way. If you get injured, what is it going to mean to you to have to take care of that injury? And then worse yet, to have a lifetime of poor vision in at least one eye. I mean, it's tragic when it happens, and we just so feel bad when people end up coming in with eye injuries that could have been prevented. Even the smallest foreign object. Working overhead on your ceiling, something falls into your eye, can leave scar tissue that will permanently affect your vision in that eye.
Oh, wow.
You know? So whether you're outside gardening and you want to wear something that's tinted, or inside and you need something clear, just put them on. Just put them on anytime you're doing really any project, especially if it involves grinding or drilling or anything with a power tool.
Well, you must have had several people come in, because I'm imagining, you know, you're pretty adamant about it. And, you know, you did show a couple of glasses, but you did also mention put them on over your existing glasses. So our existing glasses aren't protective enough?
They're really not, because as you can see, these are more just sunglasses that are on the screen, but they provide a lot of side protection. Proper, you know, protective eyewear provides side protection, and most of our glasses we wear day to day just don't. And yes, they're better than nothing, but don't consider them safety glasses. So if I'm, you know, doing something around the house, and if I've got on reading glasses or something, I'm going to put safety glasses over them. And teach your kids to do that, and teach your neighbors to do that. And when you see a worker in your house, you tell them if they're doing something, wear your safety glasses. And if they don't have them, say, here, borrow mine. Borrow mine. Because I insist on you doing that, because guess what? You get injured in my house, I'm potentially liable for that. Don't let workers do that.
Right, and I think they're only a couple of dollars at, don't quote me, but a couple of dollars at Home Depot, you could buy a handful.
A heck of a lot less than having surgery.
Well,
and all the costs of medications and all the time that it takes to get taken care of when you have an injury. Don't let it happen.
Now, if you do get something in your eye, I think generally the thing is to rub it. And pull your lid out over, you know, and try and let it come out. What is better than that?
Yeah, well, so those things, rubbing the eye often embeds or makes it. What you want is some fluid in your eye, and your eye will usually, if there's actually a foreign object, it'll produce a lot of tears. And most often, foreign objects get washed out by the tears. But you can add some fluid by using any type of artificial tears. I'm not advocating any particular brand. In fact, I put the Walgreens brand up there to point out that it doesn't have to be a name brand product. It can be a store brand product that you use. That's not the same as flushing the eye. You know, if you have a chemical injury, if you splash bleach in your eye, and by the way, when you're doing your laundry, if you're handling the bleach or any strong detergent, put on the eyeglasses, put on the protective eyewear, really, because that stuff is nasty if it gets in the eyes. So bleach or another chemical, you want to flood it with lots of water. flooding it is what dilutes the damage, right?
Right.
And they say dilution is the solution to pollution. And in the eye, so tap water is fine. Ordinarily, we don't put tap water
like
in.
run your, I mean, it's hard to get your face underneath
so
the
you can
water.
get under a high sink. You can, if you've got one of those nozzle things, you can spray it toward the eye. You don't have to spray it directly in the eye, but next to it so that it will run through the eye. Look up, look down, move the eye around so that you let the fluid get into all the little corners of the mucous membranes around the eye, because particulate matter will sometimes hide there. And if you're flushing the eye and you don't flush that out, you'll have ongoing injury. Okay. And then once that's done, get yourself typically to an emergency room, a place that's open and is set up to do further irrigation and to get you in very quickly. If you call a doctor's office, they're not really set up to take an emergency chemical injury like an emergency room is. So they'll initially treat and then eventually refer to somebody like us to evaluate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, because once it burns your eye, then what do you do? Then it's a lot more of a difficult situation.
You're blind for a long time.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, good reminders. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It's always good to see you, and try to keep us a little bit safer out there.
Absolutely. Thank you.
It's good to see you.
And if you want more information about what we've just discussed, or if you need to talk to Dr. Hovanesian or any of his staff about these particular types of injuries, you can always call them at the number on their screen. We'll be right back.